Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So today in this video we'll be going to talk about PPP authentication protocols. So what is this PPP authentication protocol? So when mainly you are connecting two different router, point-to-point connections are there. At that time we'll be using a P2P authentication. Say for example this is one router at that side and then you have another router in the opposite side. So you need to connect this two router here. So what you will do, well, just simple connection will make from directly. So here this is one router. Say for example this is my R1 router, and let me small up the size. Say this is your two router here. So what we can do, you can directly connect this system from here to here. So this is a direct connection over this. Now what will happen if this port someone else came into your network, any unauthorized person, so any unwanted. So like for example any unwanted person came into your network, and what it does, it has removed this particular port from the system and it has connected to his own routers. For example, say this is a wrong router here, so this is a dangerous router and they have connected this particular port with this network. So this is a problem. Okay, and it can also happens like if someone else connected your network, then all the data information which was coming from this router, it will go to this router. So this is a problem in your network. So how to remove this problem and how to get like there is no kind of problem there. So for that they have introduced some kind of protocol which is a PPP, which is point to point authentication protocol. So what happens, like when you configure this PPP protocol, at that time you will see that interfaces will be show like up and the line will be show down. So you'll see like status is up but the protocol is down. Why? Because if one side is having some protocol configured, the other side should be also in the same protocol and should have the same username and password. Like that you have to configure. So what you will do, you will give some username and password in this router and you will give some username and password in this router. So this router will contain the username and password of this one, and this R2 will contain the username and password of R1, same like that. And then you will go to that particular interface. So for example it is 10/0 interface, and say this is like 0/1 interface. So what you can do is like you will configure this protocol to that interfaces, interface 00 and 01, and then you will maintain one kind of authentication password, and you have mainly two kind of authentication method here. So first of all you have like pap and the other one is like chap. So mainly in the authentication method we have two authentication method here, which is pap, and the other authentication method is chap. So you have two authentication method, you can use either of both of them. So it's depend on you whichever you want to use, and then you can use that method. So by using this two pap and chap authentication method, you are making what, you are doing some kind of authentication, and if any other user came into the network, you will not be able to connect. Either they should know the username and password and the protocol which has been configured. So this is very important, we should know like how to configure this pap and chap authentication. So without wasting our time, let's move into the video and see how to make that particular method. Okay, so come on, let's get started. So here I don't need to save this one, and then I'll go to this particular here. What I can do, I'll open my packet tracer here, and after opening this packet tracer I'll go to this router here. I'll take two routers, which is 1941. So here one side one router and the other side one router I have taken. Now what I'll do, I'll just have to put the line interface. So I think you will know. If you don't know, then you can ask me to make videos on this, like how to connect the line card and how to maintain a particular serial connection in the router. So for doing that, first of all you have to switch off the router, then you have to take this SWIC2 terminal interface and you have to put this into this card. This card should be put into this particular area. After putting that, you have to switch it on. Only then you will be able to make a line connection, or else you will not be possible for that. Sorry to same here this side, sorry for the outside noise, I'm extremely sorry. So now you will be opening this two thing, and after opening this two, you are connecting the router. What you will do, you will just go to this interface, you will take the serial DCE connection. So you'll take this and you'll put the serial 00, and then you'll connect this with serial 01 connected. Now what you have to do, first of all you have to make the interface with the up. So how can you make you up? First of all you have to use no shutdown command, but it's not possible. Either you have to give one IP address, only then it will work. or else it will not work, because we all know while configuring the routers what we have to do, you have to give the IP address to the particular interface. So I'll go to interface serial 0/0/0, then I have to give the IP address. So I've given the IP as 10.0.0.1 with the subnet of 255.0.0.0 and press the no shutdown command. So it is showing line down, protocol down, but if I'll configure the other side, it will automatically get up. Serial, then no. So I think you'll not be able to see what I am typing. So let me increase the size of this. So I'll go to this font, increase the size to 14 and change the background color as black. Okay, change the background color as black and the Cisco router iOS color as yellow. I think this will be better for you to make you understand easily. You will be able to see. After that I will open this router back. Done. So you can see enable configure terminal interface serial 0/0/1, then IP address which is 10.0.0.2. Here I'll get, because we need to configure both the router opposite interface should be in the same network, and no shutdown. Done. So you can see the state up. So you can see this line stated up. Now what I have to do, right now it is possible to ping. So if you want to ping this router from here, it will be pinging. So pi in the ping 10.0.0.2. see, you will be seeing this ping connection, but as soon as I configure one side with protocol, it will not work. So first of all, for configuring you have to give the username and password. So let's first change the name of the router. This router name will be host1, so I'll type here r1. This router name will be r1 here, configured, and the other side I'll change the name as r2. So I'll go to this configure terminal, then I'll type host name r2, change. So you can see the name has been changed here, r2 and r1. Now I'll configure the username and password. So what you have to do is, like, you have to give the username and password in the r1 router of r2, and for the r2 one you have to give the username and password of r1. So what I'll do, I'll just go to this configure terminal, I'll type username r2, password say 0000. Okay, done. And I'll go to this other side, I'll configure here username r1, password 0000. Done. Configuration completed. Okay, now I'll do this PAP configuration here. So I'll go to this interface. So first of all I have to do what? I have to go to interface serial 0/0/0. Then you have to type encapsulation PPP. Enter. So first of all this command will give. As soon as you give this command, you can see the state is showing down. Why? Because this sound has been configured with this PPP protocol, but the other side is not configured with PPP protocol. That is why it is showing like down. Now I'll configure this with PPP, then I'll give like username and connected. Now I'll have to give the PPP authentication. So PPP authentication. Now which authentication method I want to use? I want to use PAP authentication method. So I'll type PAP. Done. After that I'll type here PPP PAP. Then I have to type sent username, which is like r1. Type r1. Sorry, type r1, and the password will be 12340000. Configure. Done. Then what I have to do, I have to, this command is completed, I think. Yeah. So first of all you have to give this password authentication method, then encapsulation, and done. Configured here WR right. So as soon as you write, it will be right in the NVRAM. Now the other side you have to configure. So go to the other side, it's showing also down. So you have to interface serial 0/0/1. Then I'll type encapsulation PPP. Then I'll type here PPP PAP PPP authentication PAP. Then I'll type PPP PAP sent username, which is my case it is r2. The password is 12340000. So this was r2, so I'll send the r2, and that was r1. I'll send it to r1, but I have configured this with r1. Done. It is configured now. What I can do, you can just write this configuration and then this. So after doing the whole configuration, you have to wait for some time. So as soon as you will see that your line protocol will be show as up and the protocol and the status board, it will show up. Okay, so just wait for some time, let it take some time to be up. Right now it is down. You can see serial protocol 00 change line start to down, so it should be up. So to wait some time. Let's go here. Let's check that have configured, is it correct or not. Show run. So what username I have configured here, username is R2, password is 0000. Okay, and here I should be configured with R1. Show run. Username is R1 and password is 0000. Okay, so see, this has shown state up and protocol up. Okay, so if I'll type here show IP interface brief, so what I'll see here, you can see this serial interface 0/0/1, it is showing status up and protocol also up, but before it was down. Okay, so this is the whole configuration of PPP. Okay, it is very simple, you'll easily configure with PPP. Now what I'll do, I'll connect one other router with the chap interface. So first of all, I have configured with one PAP and the other one I'll configure as chap. So what I'll do, I'll connect one other router here. Take this router, go to serial connection, then I'll type here, go to the serial 000 and connect it with the okay. So this is important. So what I said you, like if you are configuring the serial port, then you need to connect with this line card. So if this line card is not there, then it will not work. So I have to connect with this card. I have to paste this card here. After placing the card, I have to switch it back on, and then you'll be able to see that serial port. So connect with serial 00 and connect with serial 01 connected. Now give the IP address here. So that is important, like you have to give the IP address of one router. One interface should be in different and the other interface should be in different network. That is important. So I'll go to this configure terminal and then I'll type your interface serial 0/0/0. I'll type your IP space ADDR and then 11.0.0.1 and 255.0.0.0. Enter and no shutdown. Done. So this side, the other side you have to configure with same network. Okay, so type in no enable configure terminal interface serial 0/0/1. Okay, interface 0/0/1, I think 1, and then IP space ADDR and then 11.0.0.2 and space 255.0.0.0. Okay, and then no shutdown. You can see here it is showing up, but as soon as I'll configure this patch app here, it will be down. So I'll go to this interface and I'll type here first username and password is already there, so I'll not need to configure the username. I think I'll need to configure the username for other one. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll configure the username of R3 here. So I'll type here exit and configure one another username. So it is possible you can configure more than one username. It's possible for you. So I'll just go to R1. I'll type here R2. I'll type here R3 for that username because it's same side. So I have to configure the username is R3 and the password is like 0000. Same. Done. Now I'll go to interface serial 00 and I'll type here encapsulation PPP authentication chap. Done. Nothing, no need to configure anything else, just you have to configure only these commands and then it will work. PPP chap, there is nothing called chap, just you have to configure that configuration and it's okay. It is very simple. We'll go to other side, it is showing down. What I'll do, first I have to configure that username. So I have to go to this router. I'll type here host name first. Host name is like R3. I'll type here R3 host name and then I'll configure the username. The username is R2 for the other one. So I'll type here R2 and the password is like 0000. Okay, and then what I'll do, I'll go to this router and I'll type here interface serial 0/0/1 and then encapsulation ppp ppp authentication chap. Done. So you have configured the username for R2, for R1, sorry, R for R3, and for R3 you have configured R2 as a username and password. Okay, just you have to do this and then it will start working fine. So right now it will show down, but again it will be up in some time. We'll type a show IP interface brief. You will see up down here. See serial 0/0/ this one 0 is going, the status is up but the protocol is down. Why? Because right now it will take some time to get the configuration. So I'll see first, I'll see that configuration what I have configured. So that username which I have configured is R3 and the password is 0000. And this side what I have done, I have configured the username as R2 and password is 0000. Let's check to run. I have configured username as R2 and password is 0000. Okay. And then what I have configured, I have configured the PPP chat authentication chap. Okay, so it will take some time to be up. Let's wait for some time. As soon as it's get up, so it will take some time before I think I should fast forward my video for this time. After that you will be seeing that what I have configured. Now you can see here that is showing change state to up. Okay, so it has been configured now. So if I'll try to see again, I'll see here, I'll go here, I'll type that same command which is show IP interface brief. You will see interface, it will show up and up, and protocol is also up. Okay, so you can see here both has been up and up, has been configured now. So it is a very simple configuration how to do pap and chap, and it's very easy. So I think you have liked my video. If you don't like my video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. I'll be meeting you in the next video. Thank you.